Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, and my co-host, Megan.
What's up?
If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share. Follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench and join our Discord link in the description. So obviously you guys are here for the round two of the Power Four Conference Tournament. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the ACC. We're gonna change it up a little bit from the first recap. There was like 14 games today. We'll highlight a couple, especially the ones that we watched. And yeah, comment any of the games that we may not cover as much. But you guys already know March is so hard to watch every single game. So let's get into it. Round two, ACC conference tournament. Who's in? North Carolina. North Carolina, I never called them that. UNC.
UNC.
Georgia Tech, Cal, and Louisville. Who's out? Boston College, Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Clemson. Let's go over to the bracket just to see a brief overview. So we had North Carolina defeating Boston College 78 to 71. North Carolina is going to be playing Florida State. But before we talk about that matchup briefly, I just want to talk about the North Carolina. I keep calling them North Carolina. That's just killing me. I always call them UNC. It's bothering me. Um, let's talk about the UNC defeating Boston College 78 to 71. Crazy game. Very back and forth. I
Uh-huh.
remember telling Brooke and Megan, we were all watching the Tennessee Vanderbilt game. And I was like, oh, I'm not really gonna worry about UNC versus Boston College because like, you're not tripping about that. So I'm like locked in. And in the third quarter, I'm like, wait, why is this game so close? So I ended up tuning in. Basically, what had happened was Boston College was on fire from three. They basically tied their season high with 12 three-pointers on 26 attempts. So they were killing it. They shot 46% from the three-point line. But good thing for North Carolina, they came back. They pushed back. They persevered. They started the game on an 11-0 run, and they held the lead until Kenny Jackson scored with 1 minute and 58 seconds left in the third to give Boston College a 51 to 50 point lead. It was tied entering the fourth. Then they went on a 9-0 run, three-pointers to push Boston College ahead. Alyssa Usby's back. Forgot to mention that.
Uh-huh.
Basically, she started a 19-3 run that Donarski capped by making a three-pointer with 1 minute and 44 seconds left to give North Carolina a 73-66 lead as Boston College went 1 for 7 from the field. So it was really back and forth until they kind of, teetered. Is it teetered? That's not the
Mhm.
word yeah, that word. Teetered a little bit. I don't think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boston College shot really well. I thought they played, like I said, played a really good game. It was very entertaining. Lexi Donarski finally stepped up. I forgot what the stat was, but this was her first 20-point game in like a couple of like it's been a while this season since she scored 20 points. Um, so a good win for North Carolina because they needed that. They're going to be playing Florida State next. I know we chose Florida State to beat North Carolina. I feel more confident about that pick now that they almost lost to Boston College. But how are you feeling about the matchup?
Yeah. I didn't get to watch this game, but I think, they're lucky to have Alyssa Utsi back because without her, I don't think they would have pulled this off.
Yeah, she did really well. She stepped up tremendously for them, especially in the fourth when it came to crunch time.
Hmm.
But I mean, does that make your outlook any different for the Florida State game?
No, I'm still riding with Florida State.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. Quarterfinals, those are gonna be some good games.
Hmm.
And then we had Georgia Tech defeating Virginia Tech 72-57. Georgia Tech will now play NC State. I don't think we have much concern about NC State handling Georgia Tech, but we've seen crazier, which we'll talk about later. Don't get us started. Cal ended up beating Virginia. We tried to sneak a little upset in there, but it did not work in our favor. Cal came out and crushed it. They won 75-58. Cal will now play Notre Dame. Again, Notre Dame should handle business in that one. Not too worried about that. But this Louisville Clemson game, Louisville only won 70 to 68 in overtime.
Yeah.
Meg,
Louisville was
talk about
trying to
it.
lose this game, I
Oh, they
feel.
were.
I'm like, are you guys are defeating yourselves.
Yeah.
just yeah, it was crazy.
All I
Man,
know is
they
I'm
missed those
thinking
free throws at the end,
they kept missing the free throws to keep
Randolph,
Clemson in the game.
and then yeah, and then Clemson because Clemson could have won the game if she would have hit that floater that hit the front
Oh
side of
no, that would
the
that was
rim.
a wasn't that to tie it? That was to win it?
I thought it was to go up.
Oh, okay.
I
All I
thought it was to
know
go up,
is
and
Hannah
then
Cone, if that's how you
yeah,
pronounce her last name, you're clutch.
yeah, that was
She's the one that
clutch.
sent it to overtime because what's her name? What's her name? Randolph missed her second free throw.
I think this was the first game that really like pulled on your March heartstrings, right?
Oh
You know
my
how March
gosh.
Madness is, right? You go on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
You got these games where you think your team is supposed to be winning this game, they're struggling, then
hmm
they're winning, losing, winning. Like it's just an up and down thing. That was this game.
Yeah, no, this was too much. I agree with you. This one and the Alabama game,
Oh
Alabama
yeah.
versus Florida, we'll talk about that, but those two games stressed us out right now. Um Jada Curry was actually out for this game. I know she suffered that injury against Notre Dame,
Mm-hmm.
so she didn't play. It was a shoulder injury. But basically, this game there were 11 ties, 12 lead changes. The final one coming on the two free throws by Randolph with 38.7 seconds left in overtime. Thompson was short on a 3-point try, and Roberts went to the line and added two more free throws with 5 seconds remaining for a 3-point lead. And then it was a wrap after that. But
Thompson had
Clemson
a good look
battled.
too. That three, that was
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good look. It was just short.
Yeah. No, Clemson battled though. What was
Yeah.
it? I believe her name's Loyal McQueen. That's the one who we said was short on her floater and then got really emotional, but then Hannah Cone hit the three-pointer to tie it up to go to overtime. Then she's like back lively. Like that's the
Mm-hmm.
emotional roller coaster we also went through. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh my God." But thank you Louisville for at least winning because we have you upsetting Duke, but now I'm like that's stupid. We shouldn't have done that, but here we are. You never know. You know, you never know. What do you think though? Louisville versus Duke.
I mean, I think they're gonna have a better game. I still just don't trust Duke. Even with this, I mean, I'm hoping that this whole like Clemson being in the game and really giving them a run for their money puts a fire under their, you know
Yeah,
what? And we see the Louisville team that we thought we would see this game.
yeah. Well, I have my doubts now. I was very confident about Louisville coming into this tournament, and then this game against Clemson kind of made me like, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, don't go backwards, go forward. So yeah, this game's gonna be good. For sure, looking forward to UNC versus Florida State and Louisville versus Duke. Those are gonna be good games. The bummer
Mm-hmm.
about ACC is they always have the earliest games, 8 in the morning over here
Yeah, it's East
on the
Coast.
West.
Yeah,
I know, but dang, 8 in the morning to have my blood pressure up, like Jesus.
because
You know what I'm saying?
it's
Like,
like what? Like, it's almost noon over there. So
yeah, well,
yeah.
that's true because our 6 o'clock games are their what 9 o'clock games,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a bummer too. So I guess I shouldn't complain. I'll take it back. All right, let's go over to the Big Ten. Who is in after round two? We got Indiana, Michigan, Nebraska, and Iowa. Who's out? Oregon, Washington, Illinois, and Michigan State. Looking at the bracket overview, so Michigan defeated Washington 66 to 58. Michigan will now play Maryland. How are you feeling about it?
They will now play Maryland and they will lose.
I think it's going to be a good
Hopefully.
game. I think it's going to be a good game. Michigan's a young team. They have a bright future ahead of them. I know it was a little close in the Washington game. Didn't get to watch the entire game, but I know it was pretty close until the towards the end. I'm kind of nervous for Maryland a little bit, but if Maryland can bring over what they did against Ohio State, you guys are chilling. I'm feeling it. Indiana defeated Oregon 78 to 62. They pretty much handled the game. They're looking good. Indiana will now play USC, which we all have USC
Going all
beating
the way.
Indiana. So, oh, what do you mean? Oh, in the conference
Yeah,
tournament.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, dang, you're jumping ahead to March. March
yeah.
Madness already. And then the number one Cornhusker right here, Nebraska. defeats Illinois 74-70, came back. Let me tell you guys. Basically, Nebraska, loyal. They what I call them not trusty steed. Dang it, I have to think of what I told Megan I called them because they're just they're all reliable. Counted on them
Yeah.
last year to give me some good wins. Uh still counting on them. They were down. Illinois jumped out to a 9-0 lead and led 32-30 at the half. But Britt Prince hit a three-pointer early in the second half to give Nebraska its first lead, 38-37. But after six lead changes, Illinois took a 56-49 lead into the fourth. Prince then hit consecutive jumpers to tie the game at 65 with 2 minutes 23 seconds left to play, and then Jessica Petrie drilled a three-pointer to give the Cornhuskers a lead, their first of the fourth quarter at 1 minute and 40 seconds. And then after two Illinois free throws, Nebraska had a three-shot possession, getting a clutch layup from Petrie on an inbounds pass from Prince. Hake and Prince followed with two free throws each to make it 74-67. Cornhuskers outscored Illinois 25-14 in the fourth to pick up their fifth win after trailing by 10 plus points. Go Cornhuskers! I don't have you going further than this, but thank you for the upset. That's what we like to see. Nebraska will play UCLA. We do have UCLA winning. If Nebraska wins that, I mean, hey, go Cornhuskers, but I don't know. I don't see it. What about you, Meg?
Oh man. Yeah, no, it didn't tear.
I'm just saying, if Nebraska can get hot from three, they're pretty good. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
It's happened. Two consecutive games. I'm just saying. They shot 50% from the three-point line this game. So
yeah, we'll see.
keep that in mind. But yeah, Britt Prince, 17 points, 5 assists. Jessica Petrie, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. But yeah, now let's talk about this Iowa game. These Iowa Hawkeyes, baby, defeat Michigan State 74-61. Great game. Lucy Olson, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists. Hannah Stolke, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 steals. And Julia Elrott, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist for Michigan State. Michigan State, 24 turnovers. Okay, and what was the one quarter they said? They had like 8 turnovers in one quarter. And then
I was
they
like,
hit. Go ahead.
that was like the second quarter, no, because they didn't start making their real push until
Until
the
like the
third, no.
third. Yeah. But remember, we were like, dude, what are they doing? Michigan State just kept throwing the ball, driving, and then trying to throw it back
Yeah,
out. And then,
they were
yeah.
driving too far in because they'd be open. So what was killing me is that they would be open, right? They get the pass, they're open on baseline. And instead of shooting, they're like, okay, I'm gonna drive. But then they're driving all the way in the two defenders and then getting
Mm-hmm.
stuck and then just trying to launch it out to someone
Mm-hmm.
and then get a steal.
Yeah.
It was rough. But I will give them their flowers for like not letting that really get to them and
Yeah.
still keeping it close because they came back and made it a close game. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it was like at one point in a quarter, I swear they had like 8 or 9 turnovers,
yeah,
and then they had hit their average at halftime. Like the average,
yeah,
I think it's
something
like
like that.
15. They had like 15 turnovers at halftime, and that's their average they have in a whole entire game.
Yeah,
So it was just like they were beating themselves. They were saying Iowa was taking a page out of Michigan State's playbook because that's what Michigan State did to Iowa the last time they played, and that's
uh-huh.
how you game plan, Jan. Beautiful. We love to see it. Anyways, we all knew. I mean, we called it. We wanted this upset. I wanted Iowa upsetting Ohio State. Megan vetoed it. So remember, guys, that I picked that if Iowa beats Ohio State tomorrow. Just saying, okay? But yeah, Iowa's hot. They're on a win streak. Not to say Michigan State's bad, but you gotta take the hot hand. When the team is hot, you gotta roll with them. Um, but yes, I'm curious. I cannot wait for the Iowa Ohio State game. That is probably going to be the game of tomorrow. I mean, what do you think? Like, do you think it's still gonna? They went in overtime last time. Last time they played each other, right? Are we seeing that in their future for this game, or like, what are you thinking? Or
I
you don't think
mean,
it's going to be close? Like, I was
oh no,
hot.
I think it's
Oh,
gonna be
okay.
close. I think it's gonna be close, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I just see Ohio coming out.
Like a 2 point differential. Like, what are you thinking?
Um,
Overtime.
No, I'd say like I would say more than 5 points.
No, you're getting crazy now. Okay. That's going to be the game of the day tomorrow.
All right, let's remember this. We'll run this back tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll be sure to not replay it if I'm wrong. No, honestly. All right, over to the Big 12. So after round two, Kansas State, Colorado, Iowa State, and Texas Tech are all still in. UCF, Arizona, Arizona State, and Utah are out. Looking at the bracket overview, we have Kansas State, who defeated UCF 80 to 65. They handled their business. Now they're on to West Virginia. I know we had West Virginia winning, moving on after this game. Um, Kansas State's just been having it rough ever since Aoka Lee went out with injury. I know we've talked about it multiple times. Don't want to beat a dead horse, but West Virginia's defense, they're solid. They say defense wins championships. I'm gonna say defense wins this game. So, what do you think, May?
Yeah, I mean, I swear I didn't get to catch any of these Big 12 games, honestly. I mean, not Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12
Oh yeah, Big 12.
conference. Yeah, we're on Big 12. Yeah, no.
Um,
Go ahead.
yeah, I just haven't been able to really catch their games. So,
I mean, I ended up catching this next one, Colorado defeating Arizona 61 to 58. This one had me on the edge of our seats because we had Colorado upsetting Arizona, but Arizona looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie to you. Colorado was led by Tabitha Betson, 16.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and Kennedy Sanders off the bench, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. She hit a clutch three-pointer to take the lead, 54 to 53 at 5 minutes to go in the fourth. But Arizona jumped out hot, 14-3. This was when I think I texted you like, oh man, it's not looking good for Colorado.
yeah.
Game was back and forth though. At the end of the third, Arizona did kind of separate themselves. Colorado was down 10 points beginning the fourth. But they fought back, and like I said, Sanders hit that clutch three to put them up 54-53. It was after I was actually off of a broken play. They tried to get it into the paint. She bobbled it, kicked it out, and she was just there and just drained it. Then they just caught fire. Garzon hit another little jumper, turned into an and one, and that it was a wrap after that. I mean, Arizona just couldn't get a basket to fall. And then yeah, Colorado completed the fourth quarter comeback and helped our bracket just a little bit more, you know?
Hmm.
Oh, I forgot to say how well we did in the other brackets, but it's okay. We did miss one on this one. Iowa State took care of business against Arizona State 96-88. I know it seems like the score was close, but it was not. They were killing them. They were led by Addie Brown, 41 points. They
I
said
heard
that
she had a day,
yes.
man.
I heard she did not, well, she did miss, but
Yeah.
is it a metaphor? She did not miss. No.
Sheesh.
41 points is a new preliminary round record for the Big 12 Conference. I could imagine. Jeez. She
Yeah.
was actually 12 for 23 from the field and I didn't put her three-pointers. Dang.
Let me see.
See if you can look up her three-pointers. But pretty efficient from the field. Um, Audie Crooks also 20 points, 7 rebounds for Iowa State. Jalen Brown led Arizona State again, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Did you find it?
Yeah, she was 5 for 9.
5 for not. See, she shot. Well, it was her day. She couldn't miss.
Yeah.
Um, Basically, Addie Brown scored 13 of her 24 first half points. And Sydney Harris 11 in the first quarter when the Iowa erased a 5-point deficit to take a 28-17 lead. Iowa State led the rest of the way with the margin ranging from 8 to 20 points. Yeah, so their lead did dwindle down to 8 points with under 3 minutes left. But Iowa State hit a bunch of free throws and brought it back to a 14-point lead. And it was a wrap. Back to their cushy win. In Iowa State, will now play Baylor, which we have Iowa State defeating.
I gotta tune in
Crazy.
that game.
What time is it
I
at?
don't know what I'm gonna be doing at work,
What
but
time is it at?
I hope
What?
no one's tuning in. 3:30.
I better be available. All I know is Iowa State's also hot. You gotta
Yeah.
ride the hot hand. These Iowa teams are hot. Ride it as long as you can. and make you some money. I know this more counts when you make your March Madness bracket, but you gotta see who you can trust so you make the right decisions in about what, a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Um, and then lastly, Texas Tech defeats, wow, Utah 75-64. I for sure know we didn't watch this game because we were so locked into Alabama, Florida, and Iowa, Michigan State. But an upset. Utah, what are you doing? Utah really fell off. Let's talk about that. I don't see Texas Tech having another upset against Oklahoma State. If that happens, Cinderella.
Yeah, for
We're on the
real.
verge of a Cinderella team. Okay? I wonder if this is helping them for March. Do you think they squeeze in?
I mean, if you win this your conference, I think so.
They're not
I
gonna
think
win
it
the
gives you a chance.
conference.
But I'm just saying, like, if you were to win your conference for sure, it'd have
Oh
a
yeah.
impact, a high impact.
Yeah,
But I
no.
mean, they're ranked 14 in their conference. That's tough.
Yeah, no. So with that said, let's move on to the SEC. Who's in? Vanderbilt, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Florida. Who's out? Tennessee, Georgia, Mississippi State, and Alabama. We'll talk about it.
Heartbreak.
Overview of the bracket. Vanderbilt defeats Tennessee 84-76, which we said would occur. Tennessee. I wish Brooke was here. Brooke's in school right now. So I was gonna tell her because she looked at us crazy yesterday about how we had Vanderbilt upsetting Tennessee. But
Hmm.
Tennessee's they haven't been doing too well. And Vanderbilt's,
She had her roller coaster today. When
oh,
I tell
yes,
you
she did.
guys, our group chat was going off, and it was like up, down. Like 1 minute, she's like, "Oh, I love they're doing their five matchup. They're looking good." Da, da, da. Oh, Tennessee sucks. What are they doing? Like it was back and forth. It was crazy.
Yeah, I really wish she was here for her 2 cents, but
Yeah,
she'll probably tell I think she'll be here tomorrow. So we'll give you a little sneak peek of that. But basically, Vanderbilt beat Tennessee twice in a single season for the first time in series history. That is
that's
insane.
wild.
Vanderbilt started off hot. They jumped out to a 17-15 lead. Tennessee answered with a 12-2 run in the second quarter to take a 32-31 lead. But then Vanderbilt retook the double-digit lead midway through the third quarter during a 13-0 run that Blake's cap was scoop shot in the lane to make it 56-42. Insert your compliments for Michaela Blakes, Megan.
Yeah, she was cooking.
Yeah, she went off. She went off.
Freshman too. So
Yeah.
let's just put it out there. Freshman cooking, looking like she's been here before,
Mm-hmm.
playing with so much confidence. I
Yeah.
was here for it.
And she had a slow start. Even the commentators were like, "Oh, like, she's not playing that well.
Yeah,
Camille Pierre's not playing that well.
yeah,
Camille Pierre was in foul trouble." And they're still in the lead. And they're like everyone, Ayana Moore stepped up 23 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
hmm,
So it was really a team effort until, Michaela Blakes came back in the second half and was like, "I'm here. Sorry, I was late. Like,
yeah, for
let
real.
me let me show out really quick." Basically, Vanderbilt made his first 4 shots of the fourth quarter for a 20-point lead. They did struggle down the stretch with 7 turnovers and 2 missed field goals, but made 7 of 8 free throws to keep the lead above 6 points. I know I was jumping back and forth between this and UNC because UNC was close with Boston College. And I look
Yeah,
back and I was like, wait, why? What happened with Tennessee coming back? But you guys were like, don't worry about it. Like
yeah.
it's over. It's done. But yeah, Vanderbilt played well. They have to face South Carolina now. That's if they somehow beat South Carolina, that's crazy. But no, we have South Carolina beating Vanderbilt. But yeah, what do you think about Tennessee? Like, is this struggle gonna end? Why are they losing? Like, what's going on?
I don't know, man. It's like we had such high hopes for them. Um,
Had
yeah,
a hot streak. Tennessee had a hot streak. And like people like I don't know if it's a joke now or whatever about how they sub 5 in, sub 5 out because they pop up
uh-huh.
a timer now. I don't know if you saw the timer of like how long it takes them to get their subs in and it's like got up to like 50 seconds or 30 seconds at one point. And
Uh-huh.
it's I forgot who said it, which commentator said it, but they're like sometimes it's like you want a player to play through it to get hot and subbing them in and out every 30, 40, 50 seconds, they're not like working through how they're playing and they're not getting hot.
Yeah.
But They said Tennessee's coach was like, "Well, this is the style we're gonna play with. Like, I've gone against it before, but like, it just this works the best." And I mean, it was working for a little bit, but now I'm just like, I don't know now. Like,
Huh.
but it's like, do you abandon your plan that you played with all season long? Probably not.
Listen, they got 8 seniors and 4 juniors. That means, there's a lot of new faces probably coming into this program.
Hmm.
So whether or not they can keep this kind of game plan going, it will just depend on who they bring in, honestly.
Yeah. Well, do
Because
you
I think
think?
the players they have, it wasn't a bad style. Like we have a lot. I mean, they play a lot of like my issue with Tennessee isn't their defense usually. It's
No.
it their defense only starts to slag when their offense isn't hitting and then they're all in their heads.
Hmm.
But if they're hitting offensively and they're playing good D, they're winning
Hmm.
games. But
Hmm.
it's really their offense that I have a problem with. I feel like they play too much one-on-one ball, you
Mm.
know? And so it's
Yeah.
like you're bringing in all these fresh players and then they want to take everybody one-on-one and then you're
Mm.
pressing on D and it's like if you're not getting those stops with your press, because I know Brooke was harping on that today. She's
Hmm.
like, you're pressing and getting beat. So what's the
Hmm.
point of the press? Just get
Hmm.
back,
Hmm.
But they stick with their game plan.
Yeah.
But sometimes you gotta switch it up. That's just part of the game. You gotta play based off of who you're playing. Like,
Yeah. So I mean, with Tennessee's like recent woes, like, are you concerned about them for March Madness?
yeah,
Dang, like how concerned? Like what
pretty
round are they getting
concerned, yeah.
back? Like
Uh,
not make it to Sweet 16
I
concerned?
got to see the path. I wouldn't be able to say. I need to see their path because with the tournament, sometimes like it always depends on what bracket you're in
Yeah.
and what's your path.
Yeah.
So
I am concerned for Tennessee though. I don't know what they need to do because we've seen it. We've seen Tennessee on the high. They're
uh
good. But
yeah,
these last couple games it's kind of like, oh man, there's something's off, right?
uh
Um, but anyways, Oklahoma faced Georgia, beat them 70-52. They're going to end up playing Kentucky. We have Kentucky winning that game. Kentucky's hot. I think they're
yeah,
playing very solid basketball right now. Georgia Amore's on fire. Claire Strack's doing very well. Tiana Key. Um, I like them over Oklahoma. I know you agreed with me. That's the one
yeah,
you didn't fight me on. Still feel the same?
yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta ride the hot hand. I feel like they looked really, really good towards the end of regular season. So
Mm-hmm.
let's see what
Mm-hmm.
happens.
Yeah. Ole Miss defeated Mississippi State 85-73. This was a pretty close game in the first half. A lot of these games are
Uh-huh,
close in the first half, but
uh-huh.
Ole Miss really took over. Mississippi State, I know, got into some turnover trouble, but Ole Miss now faces Texas. I know Ole Miss, we always talk about their defense, how it's super solid. Do you see any potential upset here, or we're still riding with Texas?
Gotta ride with Texas.
What's their? Is it Hook'em Horns or is that Texas's look? I
I
don't
don't
think
know.
that's it. Hook'em Horns. Yeah, no. Ole Miss, they can give you a run for their money if they're defense and if they're hitting from the 3-point range. But man, Texas, I don't know why someone. I just really can't get over. Someone told me that Texas is overrated. I'm
I
gonna have
guess
to
we're gonna
see
find
it.
out.
Yeah,
We're
I'm gonna
gonna
have to
find
see it.
out.
And the last game of the day, Alabama losing to Florida, 63-61,
Man, okay.
ruined
So
our upset potential.
Florida was
I don't
supposed
even
to
know. I don't even know what Alabama was doing. But
yeah.
okay, go ahead, Megan.
Florida first off was supposed to lose last night. And we all saw how that went down. And then I remember us saying how, all right, don't worry, Alabama got this more in the bag because their star player, what's her name, McGill,
Yeah.
twisted her ankle pretty bad, like to the point where they were practically carrying her off the floor. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's great. That's great for Alabama. Florida didn't look great at all. Florida looked horrible. Like I was very disappointed in that game yesterday.
Yeah.
But McGill put that on her back. She,
Oh my
man, she
God.
was
She
cooking all
was.
by herself. Really,
Yeah. No one else helped.
nobody else
It's just
on
her.
an ankle that can't be 100% the way she limped off yesterday. There's
Yeah.
no way. You must have the best. Florida must have the most amazing trainers in the world because you would have never known she twisted her ankle that bad yesterday. But Alabama.
Alabama, I don't know what
Alabama.
you were doing.
Where was the Alabama that we saw beat LSU? Where were
Only,
they?
and that was only a couple, what, a week ago? I don't even remember. I'm mixing up the days, but it was recent.
Yeah,
Okay?
that was um
All I know is Florida left the door open for you guys, and you just didn't want to walk through it. You didn't. You said,
yeah,
No, I like it over here a little bit better." Because what the heck was that?
yeah, that was bad.
And then you got our hopes up by trying to come back at it with 30 seconds left,
Yeah,
hitting those threes.
and
Excuse
it's not
me.
yeah, and it's not like they had a horrible look at the end, but it's like it's
No.
hard for you to try to get like draw up a play where you're just trying to like really draw the foul. Like
Yeah.
it's rare that they're gonna. I mean, come on,
Give it to
reflex.
you.
It's
Yeah.
rare that they will.
Yeah.
So
No, I
it sucks.
agree.
That was a heartbreak.
It was so frustrating because it was like Alabama was getting the stops in the end, but they
Yeah,
could not score. They
I will
just
be,
could not score.
and I was already like I already kind of thought LSU could beat Alabama, but now Florida, this is it just messes up our whole bracket. It's like okay, now
Yeah.
is LSU gonna just kill Florida?
Yeah, for
Well,
real.
I mean,
Uh,
I would think so,
I would think so as well. No, I agree with you. I think Ellis
but
not
I
kill
think this is
them. I
yeah,
think
but
they're gonna win.
this is another bracket where I mean, if Florida goes past this round, that's another
Oh my
Cinderella
God.
story.
That's
Because that's
crazy.
from
That
that
would be
first game
insane.
performance to tonight, 360.
Hey, it's March.
It is. It's freaking March.
Any win is a good win as long as you win. How about
Yeah.
that? But yeah, Alabama, you let me down, and it's like telling these like conference tournaments, like it's giving you hints to to make your decisions a little bit easier in March.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, let us know what you guys think about round two. Quarterfinals are gonna be crazy. Semifinals are gonna be crazy. Your championship, wow. I
Uh-huh.
can't wait. And this is only a preview because it's gonna get crazier because it's March, and that's
Yeah.
what we love. We were just not Megan. Brooke was saying in our group chat how much she loves March, and I'm just yeah, it's the stories. Like that's the best part. The Cinderella stories, I love that. I love when they bring out the stories of the players and like what their adversity they had to go through to get here, and
Yeah.
now their team's winning, and like that's the best part about March Madness, in my opinion. And if you ever played a sport, especially on the collegiate level, like for these seniors, like this experience is like the best. It's your last moments with the people that you played with for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So
And we
it's
feel it. We've
crazy.
all been there. We all played collegiate sports, and
Yeah,
it's I mean, even just watching it, it takes me back to those moments, and that's
for
why I feel
real.
like I'm on that roller coaster with them.
Yes.
Because when I choose like it's like every game, I'm going into that game wanting a certain team to win. And so I'm riding with them.
Yeah.
When they lose,
I'm
it
like,
breaks my heart.
God, yeah, for
Especially when
real.
like, we've been watching, a lot of these teams all year. And
Hmm.
so these seniors,
You're
like
like
to go for them.
invested. You're like
Yeah,
invested in their career. It's like, no,
yeah,
I want you to win. Like, no, it's
yeah.
crazy.
I
I
want to
agree
see
with you.
more. Like, yeah.
Yes,
So
I agree with you. But anyways, like I said, guys, let us know how you felt about round two. Any predictions for the quarterfinals? But we are posting every day in March to keep you guys up to date. Tomorrow we'll come out with our quarterfinal recap. But yeah, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. Like the video. We appreciate your guys' support. We really do. And yeah, thank you guys for everything. We like to keep it fun, keep it casual. And yeah, we're just fans. We're just fans of basketball like you guys are. So we appreciate all your guys' opinions and perspectives, even if they're a little mean sometimes. But like it's fine. No, honestly. So thank you guys. We'll be back tomorrow night. Peace.